different within. Anyways, I had a different goal for today, but because of the direction that everything is going online and in person with the coronavirus, it caused me to restructure my business even before all of this went down. Like I could feel something wasn't going right in the world and in the economy. And I took the time to make sure that I was trying to discover more information that would help me. And what I've learned is really helpful. It's changing my life. And I'm right now on the cusp, that the edge of seeing hopefully things financially improve. And the downside is that there's all this going on around me and watching everyone else have problems financially, myself included, everybody. But what I know inside, what I'm able to build within myself with self-confidence and with the websites and the how to market what it is that I have to bring to other people that can help them. That's what I'm excited to bring to you today. So I want you to take notes specifically on things that I'm going to tell you what you need to spend more time researching, what you need to start trying to understand, because it's going to be imperative as we go through the next few months on what we're going to try and build for you, because whatever I show you is what I have already done or am in the process of doing. So the direction of the law of attraction webinar has taken a very different turn. Originally, it was just about helping women feel better about themselves, and in turn, they were going to be able to feel better and take better care of themselves and their family. And now it's taken it to a whole other level of like, what can you do online? Like what, with all I just said, what can you do online? And so for people who know the direction of their business, their small business or their idea, such as Tiana, you want to do an online hair boutique and you want to be able to do webinars and live stream. So what can we do that works backwards from that goal that you just said that you see in your mind? What did you have to do in your mind to get there? Does that make sense? So you're going to have to start being like, okay, well, I have a website, and on that website, I do regular streaming. I'm looking at myself in the future. I am on a schedule so that people are able to follow me predictably, which has always been something I personally struggled with. Keeping a routine and a schedule is really hard, especially if you have a family and you have a significant other. It's easy to get sidetracked. And so that's why I'm going to be providing free downloads in the very near future, hopefully today or tomorrow, actually. I'm going to figure out how to get you the ability to download the PDFs that I created. They're over here. They're actually in legal size form. So you might have to go to like a Kinko's or a FedEx kind of thing to get them printed because they're pretty big. So again, like this is just one of the spreadsheets. And I also have like at a glance 5-week day planners, 7 days at a time. I think it goes from like 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. It's a little OCD for some people, but for others who know that time is money, these are very valuable things that took me a long time to create. So I'm going to make sure that you get access to those for free, and then you're going to be able to start populating your stuff into it. And the next time we do another meetup, you should be able to start tracking your progress. And if you don't see that you're actually making little steps or huge steps forward, then you're going to have to start thinking about why. Like, are you having some problems like internally or externally? Like, is there a lack of time? Is there a lack of belief in yourself or the idea? Like, or is it that you are doing the things, but you're not logging the activity on the paper? So it's important that you do take notes, because ultimately, if you are trying to succeed in this law of attraction and growing your business, you have to be able to document what it is that you're doing so that you can scale. Over time, these are going to become activities that are very important to run your business from day to day, week to week, month to month, but they're not necessarily activities that you need to be doing, but you need to know when they need to be done. So like, such as, I'm going to start a campaign. I'm brainstorming it today. This is ground zero, day 1. I want to release a new package of services to be sold. I want it to sell in 3 weeks. So that gives me this much time to, between now and 3 weeks to start promoting it, to start having a way of collecting people who are interested in it so I can continue to stay in touch with them. The law of attraction says that whatever you give out will come back to you. So if you have a really good service or an idea or a product, you're gonna have to think of a way that you can get it out to people with as little cost as possible to yourself. So you're gonna start to think about what it is that you enjoy doing, what it is that you have a gift, a skill that you can help people with, and where are people hurting. So in this time right now, people are hurting. They're not able to take proper care of themselves because they can't leave the house. So with what you're trying to do, can you come up with some kind of activity that they can participate, just like you and I are doing right now, where you can give them that support and motivation that they need in connection to what you provide. So even if they're not able to buy your service or product from you at this time because they don't have the money, they are still going to be building a relationship with you and know that when the time comes, when they have the money, when they have any funding at all to provide support to you and what you have given to them, they will be there to spend money and time and support with you and grow your community. So think about it like, okay, hair pieces for hair boutiques are expensive. Going to get your hair done with me or other stylists at the salon can be expensive. But what can a person do to bring a salon experience to that guest at home? And a lot of people feel like if they do such a thing, they're gonna wind up losing, especially when the things hopefully turn around. People don't wanna feel like, well, I lost a client because now they feel like they can do it too good for themselves at home. Well, that might be true for some of the clients and guests that we serve. It's not necessarily true for a lot of them, because most people really truly enjoy the experience that you bring to them. They like that feeling, that friendship, that bond. They really like the experience that you create for them. And right now, because we're all so separated, like I couldn't even get my audio to work, so I couldn't even hear you. But the important thing is that you're gonna still try and think of what is the experience still virtually you want to create with people. So even though I see a fuzzy version of you down here on my screen, I can see the little dot where the camera is. And I just imagine that the fuzzy version of you is actually the clear version in that little pinhole. And that makes my ability to talk for your experience better. So like when I first started speaking, I'm pretty sure it was monotone and really dry and like so like, oh, I don't want to hear her, it's boring. But then as I start to feel like, you know, there's a real person on the other end of this camera and they're just in that little pinhole, they're trapped in their own needing of an experience. So then I started thinking, well, what do they need? They need energy. They need to feel an emotional vibe that like I understand what they're going through. And this is based on the law of attraction and building what you need and bringing to you what you need. So if you're a hair boutique or a salon owner, you're trying to build that energy of hope for that person, that there is hope that they can get a hairstyle, a look that won't leave them feeling trashed while they're running around their house trying to take care of their kids and like keep their house from being thrashed for the next several weeks. You have to bring hope that while their hair is growing out and they're seeing like their skunk stripe or their hair is getting crunchy and dry or their weave is getting all screwed up, that there's hope that someone out there understands and feels their pain and in turn is ready to try and provide solutions. Like, hey, if you're having trouble with your weave, you know, here's how to remove it safely at home. Or if you have to go to find a salon, here's what you do to be, you know, safe and sanitary and avoid trying to get the COVID or the corona, whatever. You know, we want to provide as much help as we can to these people that we value, so that in turn, you know, it's karma. We aren't going to say, well, I give and give and give for free forever, but we do say, I will give as much as I can to you. But when there comes a time when I ask, have I given you enough value? I will provide you with 5 times value when I'm ready to ask for a product sale. And by that time, the people that you have provided all this exceptional service and quality of care for them at home, they're going to be like, yes, I completely support you, because you have helped me through this time when nobody else understood what I was going for. And there's a lot of companies that are online. There's a lot of people that are doing it very badly. And so I want to help take this law of attraction thing and make it easier for you to understand how to attract the right crowd online, and how to even deal with people who come to you that you're like, wish you hadn't found me because you're making this unpleasant, right? Because everyone knows that trolls exist, but we want to figure out how to like be like, dude, I'm sorry you're having a bad day and you feel like you have to pound on me today, but what can I do to try and help you? Or like, what is it that I did that like made you so mad? I don't want to be like hung up on it personally if a troll hangs out and hates on me, but I want to be prepared. And that's the whole idea with what we're doing. We're prepared. We're going to look at all the different types of scenarios, because I want you to realize that as you try and attract what you want, it's inevitable that you're going to have negative things happen. And sometimes it's like a step forward, step backward, and the negative things have to come. They just do. Sometimes people around you don't understand what you're going to do, and they're going to see it as like, you're hella changing, you're different, why are you doing this? You can either decide to take those people on board with you, or you're going to just be like, look, if I even like showed you my notes, would you even believe it? Would you believe it was real? So that's, again, why we're here. We're going to be creating community where you're going to get regular meetings like this. So for the first 2 weeks, everything I'm going to be doing is totally free. There's no charge for any of it, and we're going to meet regularly. I am actually going to be doing this like every day, probably not for a full hour, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes every day live, and then it's going to have pre-recorded playbacks. And the goal is that you'll have like little assignments or challenges. Maybe it's just motivation for that day. But I want to help push you forward a little faster, a little quicker, so that you can launch something. And as we get to the end of the 2-week period, whoever helps to grow our community the most is going to win a website, and then, you know, that I'm going to build them. So some of you have already got that. I know, Tiona, you're going to have me build you a little website at no charge to see how we can make this work. My ultimate goal is to do 5 of these free websites. So that means I got only 4 spaces left. And they're just very simple landing page websites. There's somewhere like, I think, 2 pages. So they land on your page. You're gonna have this killer idea on it that makes them feel an emotion to attach to what you feel an emotion for, that you stand behind, that you want to sell, that you provide, that you want to share information on. Like when you landed on my web page for this webinar, what made you feel like, gosh, I want to sign up for that? Like I kind of, something I said or wrote connected with something that you felt at that moment, that you were like, if someone would just help me, I can do this in my own life. So you have to figure that out for your own page. And whether you win this website that I build you, or you become a client of mine and we work together on a fee, that's to be, you know, whatever. Whether you go to someone else and they build you the website, the concept still is the same. You have to build an emotional connection to someone right away to what they are afraid of or what they're in pain of. And when you can identify that, then you have an ability to connect with that person emotionally and more deeply, and they'll be more willing to share with you what it is they're struggling with, because then you can figure out how to tailor your service to what they need. And then you'll be speaking their language. And it's easier to attract what you want, what you need, when you're on the same page as that target that needs something, but they can't figure out where to find it. Just imagine when you go on Google and you're like, have you ever Googled something and Google couldn't give you an answer? And you're like, every day I Google stuff and there's like 1,000 pages. Why is it there's nothing on this? Like nothing. So imagine someone else saying that, but it's about something you offer. Okay, how many times, I cannot even tell you, it burns me when people will come into my brick and mortar store in Manteca and they're like, I didn't even know you exist. How long have you been here? And I'm like, 2 years. I advertise all the time. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know. And I'm like, how do you not know? But it's the same thing. Just imagine now we're taking you online. So now you're no longer just in a tiny city that you grew up in, or that you moved to, that you got plunked in. Now you're in like the deep blue ocean, and you got to find a way to stand out. And people have a bounce rate of on websites, immediate. if your colors are wrong, if your fonts are wrong, if it looks ugly, if it's hard to navigate, particularly if they land on it and within the first like 8 words, if they don't understand what your idea is and what you're selling, gone. So the goal is of this website that you want to build, whether with me or with someone else, the goal of the contest website is that someone lands on your website, they identify, and they sign up for your free gift. And the idea is your free gift should be something that's easy for you to give to them with as minimal work on your end as possible that comes out of your time pocket, okay? Time pocket versus financial pocket. If you're giving away like 15-minute consultations, that's gonna work only up until a certain point of time, and then you're gonna run out of literal time in your day. And you know, if you're not making money right now, consultations are a really great way in the beginning to meet people and to learn about what they need. And after enough consultations, you're gonna start to see a pattern, and then it will make it easier to customize your services, because it's terribly unfortunate that a lot of the time we have great ideas in our own head, but our people don't understand them. And so they're of course not going to be attracted to what we're trying to sell, what we're trying to provide, or how we're trying to help them, because we're speaking the wrong language. But if you do enough of this commentary surveying of the people you want to reach, find out why they need help, what they're struggling with, how other people in the past did them wrong, you'll hear a pattern. That all that negativity is then what you need to capitalize on and be like, okay, this is what you're afraid of. This is what you're constantly facing. This is what you constantly hate. Guess what? My services are the opposite of that. And then we're gonna nail that down into a really simple landing page, really clean, no clutter. And there's gonna be an opt-in form with their name, their city, their email. You could put phone number if your gift is strong enough and you think that they'll still put in phone number. But ideally when you're trying to get someone to just sign up for a free offer, the less information you ask from someone, the better, because a lot of people are very cautious and they're very like, I don't know you, you might be trying to scam me. So the less they have to give, the better. But yet, if you also at the same time can provide that you're a legitimate person to be trusted, that then sometimes you can get away with asking for a little more information from them because they trust you enough and feel like what they give you is going to provide them with better service in return, because you can customize. So you're going to capitalize on whatever you can. Digital downloads, you know, whether you have me make it for you as a PDF or someone else, or you do it yourself, is going to be imperative, because those are the easiest things to scale and to mass hand out. If you can hand out something digitally that you don't actually have to go pick up off your shelf and pack up and mail and put in the post office, so much better. Now, eventually over time, your goal would be to say, hey, like I've got, you know, we've done XYZ for 3 months or whatever we did. How'd that work for you? Hear enough success stories from people. Then you can feel confident that you know them well enough to say like, oh, hey, I just thought it'd be fun to throw out a sweatshirt. I had someone else help me make a design. I'm going to do a sweatshirt. How many people want to buy my sweatshirt today and in return get my next free gift? You get what I'm saying? Your pattern is that you're always giving extra bonuses with your services because no one else is doing it. No one else is going to be giving 5 times the value. No one else is going to be figuring out and understanding how to do this because they don't have someone like me in their corner, but you do. I've done over 610 hours of study through Audible, which are the books that you can listen to. You know, when I was commuting for 14 years, I got my own college degree that way. Not really, but I'm going to tell you, what I know is more than what I would have learned in a university. And it's all related to how to work with people, how to do sales, marketing, the website building, the law of attraction, 17 principles to personal success by Napoleon Hill, all of this. And now being able to use the apps that I use and build the websites that I do, I'm really confident that I can help other people grow their list as well, do email blasts, and in turn start building up your YouTube channel or your Instagram, whatever social media account you feel is where you live and feel most comfortable and where your people are. That's where we're going to build your community, because in turn all these little things connect. And then when over time you grow enough people in your community, you can say, hey, I did a sweatshirt. You're going to get free access to a membership portal. You're going to get discount coupons for buying my online membership program. You're going to get a book. You're going to get my free book available on Amazon in Kindle, and you're going to get the Audible copy also at half off, right? So, you know, notice how I'm sprinkling a lot of free stuff of high value on quality websites, which are reputable, like Amazon, Kindle, Audible. And then on top of that, there's occasionally some things that people would purchase, but it's at a very affordable and very respectable, realistic rate, okay? The key is that when you do it in such a manner, people are gonna be like, that's totally reasonable. Look at all the value and look at what she's gonna help me do. Anybody can do this. And so the concept is then that if you've grown your community online, it's not just now, oh, I have 100 people on my list. What if you have like 1,000 people on your list? What if you had 5,000 people on your list of people who just love to hear what you have to say about your subject that you know a lot about? Or watch your journey as you learn a lot about what you're wanting to know more about. What if you become the explorer, the reporter, the investigator, or you're already the expert? Maybe you're transitioning from one subject, one career to another. It doesn't matter how little you think you know. Like, there's already something about you that makes people want to know more about you and watch what you're doing. And all you have to do is learn how to polish it a little bit more and just pump it up a little bit more. And when it hits the screen, or they hear it in their ear on an Anchor podcast, or they're on Stitcher listening to your podcast, like everything I say, all these companies I talk about, I know how to connect them. Like, and what that means is I know how to help get you an account on them. I've already done the research. I've already signed up on all of them. I know how to integrate all connections so you can grow. And this is how people grow. I am in the process of getting over my own internal fears and anxieties to help. And as a INFJ, what is that? Introvert, extrovert, it's crazy, you know, to feel like that in a world of extroverts. But with the way, unfortunately, coronavirus has gone, it's pushed everybody indoors. So all these extroverted people are now around all these introverted people, and they're freaking out both ways. And I want people to know that there's another way. Using the 17 steps to the principle of the philosophy of success by Napoleon Hill is extremely important. It's not religious, but it is based in faith. And the principles, the 17 principles, are the backbone of how I stay guided and grounded. And in addition, those really old principles with all these modern apps that I know are what are helping me build my Amazon store that I just opened up. And they're going to help me build up other people who want to take that same route, that same leap of faith, and learn how to go into drop shipping and learn how to take their business from, I don't know what I'm going to do, I can't survive, to I'm going to thrive. We're all scared. We're all in a place where we do not know if we're going to do well. We don't know if our clients are going to have enough money to continue paying us our normal rates. People are concerned that they're going to have to like drop their rates so low that how could they continue paying their rent? This is why going online is so important right now, because you can go online, and even if I am not safe. Everyone has the chance to lose their business and to lose what they've got. And I have to help people understand that there's another way, that even if I lost my business, or you lost your home, you lost your business place, there's online. As long as you can get your face in front of a camera and you can build a website, you can reach people everywhere. You can drop your prices from $150 to low prices, like $34 for a net market profit, right? But if you sold it to 1,000 people, that's $34,000. And if you manage to do this over the course of even just a few months, doing broadcasts, you're working for free, nothing's happening, but you're building relationships. People are learning what you have to offer, and then you drop on massive value in your membership area, and you teach them how to do something that they want to learn from you that is a skill you consider very easy. What is something that you do now that is so easy you could do it in your sleep, but for someone else, you always hear them say to you, that looks so easy when you do it. Why is it so hard when I do it? What do you always hear people say that you're like, this is like the easiest thing in the world? Like, are you kidding me? If you can identify that and make it a skill or break it down even into the first baby step that someone else can start to understand, and you can give someone else a light bulb moment where they're like, oh my God, I get it. If you can give someone their own aha moment, they're more likely to be like, I want to come back, because no one else has ever made me understand something like that, and they're going to want to stay with you. So everything that I'm saying to you here, like, I want to hear back from you. Like, I need to know, did I say anything that resonated, that actually you went home, you went and put it to work, and you tested it, and you're like, yeah, like that totally worked. My web programmer did it and it worked. Or like, I tried it on my own, so good. Or no, that was like really bad. I did this XYZ thing and it flopped. I want to know why. Why didn't it work? What can we do to go backwards? Like, totally kind of not connected, but yes, I'm a hairstylist, right? So one time I had someone in my hair color class. I gave her a formula. I told her how the colors work, the laws of color. She went and did the formula, and she's like, oh my God, my client's hair turned purple. And I was like, well, it shouldn't have turned purple. Like, what did you put in the formula based on, the laws of color? And we wound up finding that she already, in her previous formula that was put on, had put in something that had a blue base. Then she went in with the next formula and did a red violet. And she was like, oh, that's why, because it already had blue in it. And then we found out the problem and she fixed it. So that's kind of like my goal, is whether it's a business thing or computer thing, I want to help you figure out where things aren't working and what can we do to fix them. And the scary thing is, a lot of people don't even know what they want to do right now. They're like frozen, stuck in the mud. If you know somebody who is in that mode of like, I don't even know what to do, or they're in fear mode and anger mode, and they're just like bitching and moaning and like, the world's falling apart, this is everyone's fault, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or all they do is cry, send them over here. So just make sure they sign up for the free webinars, make sure they get on board, because again, like I said, the person who helps grow the community here the most, refers to the most people, is going to be potentially able to win one of the last remaining 4 websites that I'm going to build up. Okay. For other people who already, like Tiona and no one else is on it yet. So if you're looking to upgrade your prize, get an extra web page put into your website, or like get a free sweatshirt thrown your way, build up the community, get as many people as you can to come this direction. And in the commentary bar where it says like, tell me about your goals, make sure that you have them put your name as the reference. Like, so-and-so sent me, my goals are. That way I can keep a log of it until I build up the affiliate page where it will be auto tracking. Because then everyone's going to start earning points, and then you'll use the points and you can buy things with your points, like pages on your website, free stuff in the catalog that I'm going to come out for clothing and bags. Like on my Amazon store, I just put out my first graphic design on a tote bag. So I don't know. I just kind of was playing around and making sure all my connections work. So I threw it up there. But like, a personal goal of mine is to do a membership portal and like have like the whole like, style package, a sweater, leggings, and a bag and everything at a really affordable price, plus training online for stretches and exercise, and then like the booming business goals. So like the willpower of beauty thing that we're in right now is more about keeping your mind open and believing that there's a way, and we're going to get more in depth to some of these like philosophies and ways that we can apply them. And anytime even some junk comes our way, how can we break it down and overcome? So the booming business goals that I'm going to be launching coming up here on April 1st is going to go way more in depth with how to work your website, how to build marketing goals that actually achieve results, so that when you say something, people listen and then they do what you said. So if you're trying to sell something online or in person, we don't want to come across as like too salesy or too pushy, but yet with the way things are, we still have bills and we still want to have things done on time. So how do we create that edge where people feel like, okay, I need to act on it now? So that's where we're going to go into more in-depth business advice. And that's going to have also free PDFs. And that's boomingbusinessgoals.club. That one's only $21. Originally, that class was going to go through the Manteca Park and Rec, but they've been closed. So my classes that are published with them are right now, I think they're dead in the water. I don't know. I've tried calling and the offices are closed, so I can't imagine anyone's able to register, which is another good reason why we're here online. So we're going to get into a lot more webinars, and I want people to start filling in the PDFs that are free and available for download, and then submitting back to me if you're comfortable with that, so that I can feature your ideas and share them with our community that's going to grow, because other people are going to become empowered by what you are able to share. Sorry, my dog and kids are playing. So even if you feel like your idea is small or insignificant, or that it's like something that doesn't matter, I want you to still share, because everybody has a goal that matters. And even the biggest of dreams, they start small, because you have to be able to have the belief that it's possible in yourself. For one, you have to see enough things happen around you that you had participated in or that you completely started. You have to see this as a pattern that I can do this. I can create enough good things. I can go after it and it can be mine. Hey man, my son. So, you know, we've got 20 minutes to go with the last amount of time here, and I want to open up some time for questions. If you've got something in particular that you want to throw out there and ask me how I would handle it, or a question about a program like that I mentioned, like the boomingbusinessgoals.club, or going into the websites and the building, you know, just let me know right now. I think you can chat on it, type it in the group chat area, and I will get into the answers. So let's see. It's raining? Thank you, sir. It's raining, people. It's raining. Let's see. Tiona says that she always hears that online hair business is saturated and probably won't be that successful. So I would agree that the online hair business is very saturated, and the way someone could be successful is to be, again, transparent and honest, and to build that relationship, because the community of people who want their hair taken care of properly, they want to go to people who are, I believe, sourcing it from ethical sources. They want to know that the people aren't, that are donating their hair aren't being led down a path where they're going to be unhappy with the results, like selling their hair for too cheap. So I do know that there is a person, a man, I think he's in New York, and he went and started learning about where the places actually are that the hair is being sourced from. So it might be difficult for someone in the beginning to do such a thing, because that's a far trip and crazy shit. There's craziness going on right now for traveling worldwide. But what could you, no, that's my kitty. What could you do instead? I would start personally by locating that person. Literally, where's that man that I'm speaking of in New York, and how did he start his journey? I wish I remembered his website. I did go on it once. It was a nice website. I will say that he lacked detail. So for someone who's trying to get into the saturated market, he didn't capitalize very well on that. I felt like his website should have had more warmth, more pull in, more draw, more of those free bonus gifts that I was talking about, more instructional videos, maybe more contests, something that made it feel like, okay, even though it's hard to get hair from this guy, I want to come back and learn more from him. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where I want you to go. Okay, it's hard to break into the market, yes, but what can you do that makes you different? What is your differentiator that makes people come to you for that first, then the hair? So like, I opened up Northern California's first whole fitness hair salon because the market is so saturated with hair salons that what could I do to be different? I looked into myself and I said, what do you do other than hair that is so different? And I was like, I like fitness. I do calisthenics, which is like old school, you know, fitness, like on the playground bar sets. And I was like, oh, my cat's eating butter. Hold on. No, don't do that. He is on the counter eating butter. Look at this guy. All right. Go on, get out of here. Ow! You killed my leg. I'm gonna cry now. Okay, so what was I saying? So I did the hair salon, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a hair salon that, oh, and then when my clients watched me lose 30 pounds, they're like, what are you doing? So that led to me getting my certificate to do fitness. And then I was like, this is so much fun. I'm gonna bring in my bars and put them in the hair salon. And then people are gonna be like, what? Right? Differentiator. And then I was like, I'm gonna do contests. So again, you wanna be doing things that nobody else is doing. What else do you do? I was like, I sew. I was like, I'm gonna make underwear, pole shorts, for people who come to my fitness classes in my hair salon. I was like, hell yeah, I am. So layer it on, make it deep so that people are like, dang, I'm gonna get my hair from that place online that does XYZ. Nobody's doing it. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are doing contests. Yeah, I know. There's an app for every website where you can spin a Wheel of Fortune thing. I made my own Wheel of Fortune wheel. I made it with my dad out of a bike wheel that we cut up. I know, MacGyver ghetto style. I don't care. I made a Wheel of Fortune. And the goal is to be different so that, no, it's not when you come to my website, you spin the digital wheel. No, come to my website, win the opportunity to spin the wheel live with me online, you know, like, and then see what you win right now. And, you know, you want to make it lively, engaging. Gosh, I'm like coming alive now. I feel this whole introvert thing through video, so much fun. So I hope you're feeling it, because like you have the opportunity to do the same wild thing. It's almost easier because when you're in front of a classroom, like I've taught on stage at hair shows in Ohio and in Los Angeles. I've taught in small classrooms, 30 to 60 people, and I've done this. This is hard at first. You know, look at the beginning of the video, and then you see me now. It's a lot more animated. So it's the same thing though. You just have to be able to find that ability to find where you are alive. Some people, it might be podcasting, so they don't have to see their face. It might be just all audio. You might be like, I need more time. I want a full script. That's cool too. A lot of people run that way. You might be like, I want to do only books. I only want to audio record my own book because it's scripted and it's careful and it's planned. Totally fine as well. Then all you have to do are little tiny mini webinars and blurbs that just kind of promote it and then allow people to build on the relationship of maybe instructional videos where you just show your hands, you know, maybe, and then you just like narrate over the video later. And then you could maybe put in like inserts that do text that talk about what you're doing. There's a lot of different ways where you can be in front of your audience and not feel like uncomfortable. You know, there's a learning curve of uncomfortability, but like the other day it hit me. I was like, you know what? Webinars like this to me are cool, but at the same time kind of boring. And I was like, what if I did a webinar almost more like a movie where it would be pre-recorded and it would allow people the opportunity to watch a more interactive, like fun, think of it like magazine experience, but it's like got videos and other stuff in it and cartoons and drawings. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what can I do, because I like change. I like things that are different. Babes, I love you. Going up. It's my little list. She's 6. What can I do to be different? Not just for you, but for me. I mean, maybe it's selfish, but gosh, don't you want to have fun with your business? You don't want to be like, yeah, I built this business, but I hate the way I built it. Okay, so I've been there, and I've had to restructure my business several times because of I either did it wrong and wound up not liking the way I built it. The outcome, you know, once it finally came, I was like, oh, I hate this. Like, I hate it. I didn't like that I hired employees. You know, it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. I didn't like that I had, at a certain point, apprentices that kept leaving. But then I was like, you know, they have to leave. They have to grow. And then I was like, you know what? I like the fact that they leave. I like that I can have this short time, and just because then I learned that I myself like turnover. I like change. And then I was like, maybe that's why I like teaching and doing educational webinars and live events, because I like seeing new people, different people, in addition to current people. I don't know. I like knowing that there's people that are going to take the information and run with it, and I might see them again, and then maybe not. And I want other people to take that vibe and know that whatever you put out there, don't expect it to come back. Just know that it will. Does that make sense? Like, if you set it out there with every single person that, you know, you email, you call, you expected them to buy something, they said they would, they said they'd support you, you can't be like, oh, it didn't work with that person and then get let down, because then you're going to have a point of like giving up. You're going to feel at a certain point, maybe a lot of people at a clump are not going along with what you want, or they're just not supportive in some way, but you still have to be able to pick yourself back up, because if you get stuck in that for too long, it could be weeks, months, or even it could be years before you wake up and you're like, why did I stop? Sorry. So I want you to think, what if you did stop before, why? If you keep stopping now, why? Like, one of my favorite people that I listen to is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he talks about, you know, working till 2 a.m. It's no joke. I work till 2 a.m. at my kitchen table. I don't know, can you see like the things on the wall? Those are just like, what, 4 of them. I have binders full of paper. I have tables. I have pictures of my entire shop floor and the wall, 26 feet long, covered in papers and notes. I'm not saying that's what everyone has to do, but I'm saying you have to find what you have to do to make yourself remember, to know, to understand it. It's almost like you're reprogramming everything in your brain. You're going to reprogram your whole schedule, your routine. Like, this is not a time to take this lightly and be like, oh, it would be really nice, and when I have the time, I will. This is like, no, every second I have, I devote to writing down notes and trying to figure out, what can I do to launch that step, that note that I wrote? Like, I'm going to show you what ready? Notes. I got notes and notes and notes, all kinds of notes. Currently, I have to, once this is over, go and figure out like what I need to do to make sure that my Zoom webinars show inside my membership portal. And I also have to get the API keys so that people can register for the webinar through my funnel, which is my website. And then it will automatically send the link to the Zoom website, which will then shoot them the registration, not the registration, the click on link for sign in, if that makes sense. So the thing is, like, I'm the middle person, and I have to know what websites I need to find and connect, so that when someone else comes in, it's automated. And I'm out of it at that point. I set it up and I monitor it and make sure it works, but I'm out of it. This is how we scale. We stay out of it. We get out of our own way. because we're our own worst enemy. The reason I have to have my PDFs and all these notes is because I have to make notes of what it is that I am doing. What am I connecting, right? Why does this connect to here? Well, I say I want to sell a product, so I need to sell it. Okay, well, if I want to scale it, how am I going to scale it? Well, they're going to need to buy it from my website. Then they're going to need to have it delivered to them. Well, if I don't want to be the one that picks and ships it, I need to figure out what I can do to ship it to someone. Oh, I need something like drop shipping. Okay, I need to get a company to ship this for me. So they're either going to be me sending my product to the company and they hold it in their warehouse and then they mail it out, but I have to set up all the connections electronically, right? Or I keep all the stuff in my garage and when the orders come in, I ship it out. But in the beginning, everyone's going to be sending it to their garage and shipping it out, okay? Drop shipping, the way I've set it up, it does work, but it does have costs. There are monthly costs with each company that I use to keep it all set up. And then there's a cost per time everyone buys something. Like, I guess you could call it a referral fee that you pay the company, in addition to your regular fees. Every company is different, but this is about really how it works. Then if you connect your drop shipping company to, say, Amazon, Amazon takes a fee also. So why do I do this if I'm not at a point where I'm making a lot of products yet? Because I want to know how this all works. Then what I'm going to do is step back and I can say, let's say, run a contest, get all the people that sign up for it. Then what you do is you're going to tell people after you've gotten so many entries, okay, now it's time to do the giveaway. So at that point, theoretically, if you were to say at the end of the giveaway that you're also going to say something's going to be on sale a certain percentage, or they're going to get buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one half off. You want to look at your numbers and go statistically, if I have this many people on my email list and my goal is to make this much money, how many people do they have, how many people have to buy off my website? Okay, so this is kind of the direction you have to start thinking. The numbers do make your head hurt, trust me. I am not a math person. I failed math miserably. So to know and understand the numbers at this point, I feel like Einstein, and I can't wait to share it with you. And it's hard, but just know that you need to start thinking about price points. What are you trying to sell, and what can you sell that would be automated? What can you drop ship? If you're selling hair, it's going to be hard to do drop shipping. I keep saying sweatshirts and bags, but it is the easiest thing to drop ship. And whether you sell it yourself and then ship it out from your garage, or you have a company that ships it for you, it's going to cost a little bit more, but it's still going to work, and it's easier than having to have like a ton of hair and then ship it. Or if you're in a salon and you're starting your own product line and shipping shampoo and product, right? Think digital. So if you can drop ship and send one order from one company to the next order digitally, and then they send your sweatshirt that is themed to match your product or brand, right? Now you're starting to make money, and eventually over time you sell enough sweatshirts, we get out of this hump, and now you've got a little bit more money to put into your advertising or into to developing another way to give your best service to a client, okay? We've got to get a huge email list under you first. If you don't have people listening to you, you've got nothing. When you finally have a product to sell, or you're comfortable enough to get in front of them, you're going to have a crowd that's ready. You don't want to be ready and then have no crowd, okay? So let's see. Good, add that clothing line. So right now, like, you're going to start needing to think what colors you want to work with. What colors do people like? Surveys are a great way to start. Just try and think of, like, when you do your survey, not being too dry. What story are you going to start by telling in your survey to bring people in emotionally to wanting to participate? Because otherwise, when they see your email, their finger is on delete. If the email doesn't have a good headline to start with and attract them, they're going to delete it and not even open it. So think about it. Like when I put my email out to you for the Law of Attraction webinar, how did I have it phrased in the headline? When you looked at the website, what was like the first few lines or the first few inches of what you read? Look at how it was structured. This is called modeling. This is not called copying. I'm going to ask you to go and look at my website and other websites that you like, and magazines, anything. You're going to start to model the foundational structure of your wording based on what you like. Now, the difference between modeling and copying is this. Copying is that it's a dead giveaway that you went to XYZ site and you just wrote what they wrote. Okay, that's not what I'm asking you to do, and that's not what any of the people that I have studied have asked me to do. Everyone asks you to model and say, based on what you like and what they're offering, how could you do this in your own way? So you could be like, oh, okay, well, as me and as an example, I gave away a free webinar. You could totally be like, I'm gonna do a free webinar. And I'd be like, fucking awesome. Sorry. I'd be like, that's awesome, do a free webinar. If you're like, okay, I wanna do free training. Free training is amazing. What can you free train someone with? You could be like, I'm gonna start a podcast, okay? Start looking at free apps where you can start putting your information out there, okay? We wanna have you have a soapbox, a platform, something you're comfortable with, and you wanna start thinking that way, whether you like it or not. Now, I personally don't like Facebook, but I know a lot of people are on it, so I'm coming to terms with that and trying to figure out how can I work Facebook better so that I can bring the message to you easier, and for me, so I can feel more comfortable in it. So probably more private Facebook groups. Something that you could model also is like a private Facebook group. And find what is the focus of that group. So whenever someone joins the group, they know exactly what to expect, and it will help keep drama less. You know, a lot of people don't like Facebook because of the drama, myself, main reason. So whatever you do, you have to have a structure. So start looking at what other people do, you know, look at how they're structuring it, and then take the wording and structure yours similarly, but with your message. Okay, we're not word for word copying, we are modeling and saying, okay, they're going to bring me, so she wants me to buy her hair. Go look at other hair websites and figure out how do they do their stuff. Like if they say you get free shipping when you buy my hair, you got to figure out how can you afford to do that, right? So you're going to start having to figure out what would shipping cost for your average order. Then you got to figure out, is there any way that you can add in a product that would be considered like a mandatory service or gift that includes enough to cover your shipping, and maybe you even lose, you don't make anything but you break even. Maybe you include a bunch of free digital downloads on how to work with the hair. Maybe there's a free training center, and maybe it's just like, all of this is free, just pay $8 for shipping. Okay, so maybe you can't get out of shipping, they have to pay for it. But what can you do to make it more like valuable, that like, while Amazon has free shipping for some people, I have to pay shipping with you. However, I feel like I get more value. You hear what I'm saying? So that's where you have to start thinking. Good, good, good. Got some color scheme ideas coming to the Dropbox for Tiona, and we're gonna think about also looking at what's in style. For if you wanna do a clothing line, you're gonna need to figure out what your theme is. What is your style? How do you draw? What is gonna be your imagery? What's the type of clothing you're gonna offer? You know, like start thinking about all of these things, and then you're gonna have to start going online and doing the research. Like I have all the companies, I know all of them. I can help you totally, but that's not gonna help you if I spoon feed you. Like I do personalized private coaching, so at a fee I can spoon feed people, but when we're free, I'm more like, I'm gonna be giving you all the carrots and just kind of leaving them, and you gotta go find them and pick them up. And then as over time, you will see the value in going into coaching with me on a private basis, but I'm not asking for that now because it's crazy right now. I just want us to get through this. So if you can honestly believe that that's what I believe, we're gonna do really good together. Now, just you keep picking up the carrots, and when it's hard, you just gotta eat it and be like, oh, I don't like this, but it's good for my eyesight, right? So with that, we made it through a whole hour webinar, and I would like to say thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to give you the next 10 minutes for any type of questions, open floor, you could say. So I'm going to let you type, chat in, see if anything comes up. If nothing comes up, the next time we do a webinar is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to think about either 1 o'clock did pretty good. Did you like 1? Let me know if you liked 1, or if you prefer a different time. Make sure you put all your notes or chat of what time you would prefer in the webinar box chat, and I will consider everyone's feedback. And then this webinar will be available for playback for at least 48 hours in the webinar room that it was supposed to be in. So I'm gonna just take the recording and upload it onto my YouTube and then pop it into the website. And then I'll send that link to you also in an email. 1 p.m. is good. Okay, made it. No worries, no worries. Okay, so we got Kay at the end of the webinar, and I just want to say thanks for showing up. I know how hard life is, and I was just telling Tiana here, I just realized I can sing Tiana, and it's Tiana, right? Tiana. I know. I always say names wrong. See, she's like, yeah. Okay, so Kay, this this recording, well, this is not recording, this is live. It will be available for playback for at least the next 48 hours. There's a lot of good stuff inside the playback, and I want to hear from you. Whatever, my 6-year-old says thumbs up. Whatever questions you have, please make sure you send them to mygoals@willpowerisbeauty.com. And if you send your email to mygoals@willpowerisbeauty.com, I will personally read them and get back to you. And then again, we're going to do this webinar live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. So this is going to be 2 weeks of free webinars. And then afterwards, I'm just going to ask for a $21, I guess you could say, purchase toward the next program that's going to run for the next month. And it's going to be amazing. I'm going to give you all kinds of information about how to attract more of what you want in life, how to build the most awesome website that you can so that you can scale your business online, because right now the coronavirus has everyone scared. And the key to survival, I believe with all my heart, and I have been studying for over 600 hours since I turned 34, which was a few years ago. I'll be 40 this year. This is the year, okay? So we are gonna make it happen, and nothing is gonna get in our way, and I want you to believe that. So with that, I'm gonna check the comments, see what we got here. Do I have any time after this webinar to discuss some of my ideas? I can set up time for that. I can. Send me a message and we'll see what we can put on the books. I've got some things I've got to do right after the webinar with the website that I was talking about, trying to fix some of the problems. I got to get online and fix that because I'm hoping that it will be fixed in time for tomorrow's webinar so that it will be inside the playback room. But yeah, for sure, if you've got ideas, send them to mygoals@willpowerisbeauty.com. Kay, you can totally do that also, because I would love to hear more from you about what you feel would make you happy this year. Because I feel that even with how hard things are right now, that to be happy is a completely realistic expectation. I want everyone to have that ability to at least 70 to 80% of the time feel happy. To be like, not just like, yeah, I'm here, but like, be like, yeah, I'm here. Like, yeah, I'm excited to be here. Like, when people ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, I am excited. It's a crazy time right now, but I am excited. And I know that there's a lot of people who feel the same way and who also are looking at this as an opportunity. Not as a time to take advantage of anybody, but this is a time of opportunity. You're either going to what is it, sink or swim? You're either going to find a way to really quickly light a match under you and learn what I know on how to scale your business online. You are going to find a way to reach your crowd and make them feel like they are heard and connect with you. Okay? So start a Dropbox account if you haven't already. In the Dropbox account, start filling that folder with information, pictures, documents, colors, anything that you want to share with me. And then you can share the Dropbox link to my goals at willpowerisbeauty.com. Anyone who has access to your Dropbox link will be able to get into it, so keep that in mind. The reason you want to share it with me, again, is that people in 2 weeks, 4 more people are going to win a website, custom website built by me. It's going to run a 21-day contest on it. And I'm going to give you the analytics, and you're going to get people, potential clients, okay? I'm going to help you learn how to run a marketing campaign, whether it's on Google or social media, free or paid for. I'm going to teach you all of that. And we're going to go over some of this stuff in the boomingbusinessgoals.club, which again is only $21, and that starts April 1st. And until then, it's all free. Make sure if you want the free PDF, send me an email, mygoals@willpowerisbeauty.com. Kay, I know you're going to be wondering about what are these free PDFs. So replay this webinar after I send you the link in an email. I want you to look out for it. With that, thank you so very much. And I want you to have a good day and just start thinking about what you have to offer people. What do you have to offer? What can you teach someone? What do people say to you every day, at least once a week? You make it look so easy. How do you do that? I know you hear this, okay? So take care. Thank you for showing up today. Bye. And